racetrack road being right there just south of McDonough, and see if we can see any type of that circulation there. But here is the track of the system. If it holds together, it would move up toward Ola at around 4:07. Actually, it'd probably be a little bit faster than that then, getting up closer to the Ola area, because this is moving up toward the north and also to the east. So in these areas between McDonough and also along Old Jackson Road and just between McDonough and Locust Grove, in this purple polygon, I want you to be in your tornado safe position. What we have often been seeing with these storms is that we will have a brief spin-ups occurring with these, but with this showing that lofted debris out there, that is showing us that we do have the potential of an actual tornado that is showing up. This is showing our camera in Dahlonega right now. We also want to check out what we're seeing at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is Atlanta Motor Speedway right here, and you can see the heavy rain that's coming down right now at just around the Hampton area at AMS. And so what we'll try to do is our director will try to put us in, be able to keep showing that camera at Atlanta Motor Speedway while I'm also talking about this radar reflectivity that we have right here too. Melissa, let's go back to that debris finder here, because it's interesting seeing that potential for lofted debris, and that is how the National Weather Service is saying that this is a radar confirmed tornado down in that area of Henry County, not too far off from the racetrack. So here you see between Lincoln Log Way and Shenandoah Drive, where you see this imagery right here that shows us where we potentially have some sort of debris that is being lofted into the air, and the radar signal is able to see that debris, and that's what it's showing us right now, that this is more than just raindrops in the sky. This is actual debris, whether it's leaves, pine straw, or pieces of structures of anything, and that actually is kind of ramping up even a little bit more. Melissa's here with us. We'll be able to hear her in just a moment here, but this is actually ramping up a little bit more here right around Shenandoah Drive. So this would be south of Atlanta Motor Speedway. So when we go back to that camera in just a few minutes, we'll point it down to the south here, and we'll be able to see the potential for some rotation with that, and that's what the National Weather Service is showing us here. So again, very heavy rain right now at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It is possible that this system could be rain wrapped, and it might not necessarily be visible of what we are normally, would think of what a tornado would look like, but that's how it looks right now at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're moving the camera toward the south, and we're just kind of scan the sky there at the speedway. You can see there on top of the stands where we could see what we're watching right now. So this would be south of Atlanta Motor Speedway. So we're pointing south right now, but the visibility is not that great out there right now. So we're going to keep an eye on this camera. We'll put this on the side for you in just a little bit, just to see if we can see anything south of Atlanta Motor Speedway. Back to the radar though, and you can see what we're talking about with this right here, indicating that potential rotation right there at Racetrack Road and near Lower Falls Drive, right along 81, and then this area right here. This is where we have that potential rotation right now that's moving through. Here in Atlanta, as you can see from this camera, we're okay here. We just have a good bit of rain, but just this circulation developed on the south side just a little while ago, and it is an impressive look at a spin up, most likely, that is, and it is a confirmed radar indicated tornado there in Henry County. So here's a look again at that track as it moves up toward the north, taking it to Ola at around 3:56 this afternoon, continuing to push on up to the north there, crossing over that road that goes between Ola and McDonough, which is Highway 81, State Route 81 would be that area right there with that potential rotation that's moving on through right now. So in perspective of where we are in Atlanta compared to where this storm is right now, Atlanta is way up here. So as you can see at the top of your screen, here's Atlanta. We're talking about down 75. In this cluster of rain and storms here, we just have a spin up here that has just occurred with that tornado warning that is in effect for folks in Henry County until 3:45. And there's a better look at that right now. And again, normally when you see us talking about a tornado warning, the polygon is in the red color, but this is a purple color because this is a radar confirmed tornado, most likely a tornado on the ground where we do see lofted debris that we were just showing you. Here again is that debris finder, and that still looks pretty impressive there, Melissa, as we were watching those kind of pixels there showing some different colors, indicating maybe this is holding it together as it moves up to the north and east. Do you have anything new there from the Weather Service?
I was just going to say, it spun up very quickly because they have that debris signature. We know that this is on the ground, that is lofted debris, but this is a new scan in velocity.
Yes.
And it kind of looks like the trajectory, instead of northeast, is heading more north-northeast than northeast. So right up on that east side of McDonough, eventually in towards Delwood Drive as well.
Yeah, so pretty much in this area right now, again, instead of that circulation, as Melissa was saying, instead of it traveling in the middle of the polygon, we really think that circulation is more right up here on the this edge of the polygon right here, moving up toward the north. And that's really kind of what the debris signature was also showing us that we were just watching a few moments ago too. So numerous things we're watching. We're watching reflectivity. We're watching our velocity mode. The velocity mode that you can see where you've got the red and greens coming together there, that is where you have the winds either going, the green showing the winds going towards the radar, the red shows the winds going away from the radar, and any particles there in the atmosphere, when you see those coming together like that, that's where we can see some rotation, like Melissa is showing us right here in that area at Aylesbury Boulevard and South Bethany Road. So in that area right now, in this polygon, if you are watching us and you're in that polygon, if your phone went off from the weather or the wireless emergency alerts, that means you're in the polygon there. Be in your tornado safe position, the lowest floor of your home. If you have a basement, be in the basement, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, specifically in these areas right now at Aylesbury Boulevard. That's going to be getting closer to Lowell Falls Drive, over near North Bethany Road, then to McGarrity Road, and then on up toward the Hewitt Drive area there within that polygon, and up to the Delwood area here too, where we have that tornado warning in effect. And it's moving up to the north-northeast is what we're thinking right now. Instead of more of a northeasterly trajectory, it looks like north-northeast, which would be pushing in this direction. Melissa's kind of putting this into motion.
Yeah, I'm taking it back because you can see, I mean, it just really quickly spun up. You see how we have that gate-to-gate shear right in here. This was right before the warning came out. So it looks like it touched down right over 75. And then as it's gone through the last 10 minutes or so, the rotation is not that tight gate to gate like we had earlier.
Correct.
But we still have the debris signature. So there's still lofted debris that the radar is picking up on. And these things very quickly can cycle and tighten up again. Yeah. So, you know, again, this just goes to show you how fast things can change. We don't have a severe thunderstorm watch. We don't have a tornado watch. We didn't have any severe thunderstorm warnings. This is just in a cluster of storms on the south side where we have this rotation that just developed out of this system here. We don't even really have a big severe weather risk for our area today, except for down on the south side, south of I-20, that level 1 risk. So this is what we continue to watch. Melissa, go ahead. What you got? They're going to let it expire at 3:45, as we were kind of talking about. We don't have the gate to gate anymore, but something we'll watch to see if it cycles up again.
All right, so there we are at 3:45 right now, but we're still going to stay with you just a little bit more. We expect to see this polygon to drop in just a moment here, as the Weather Service is saying that they're going to let this expire. But this really ramped up very quickly, and for it to really get together that fast and grow that quickly enough to give us that debris signature so quickly just goes to show you that was a really quick spin up there that was happening, and as it moves up toward the north. So still in Lower Falls Drive, I want you to still be aware of this, because what we watch for is any of that cycling that could happen as to whether or not it would continue to weaken or if it is going to ramp back up again. But we just saw the polygon disappear right. Melissa, that just disappeared.
Yes.
I was making sure when I turned away, we didn't move to another spot. So quick spin up on the south side there in Henry County, right along 75, a little bit earlier here, not too far from the Racetrack Road area. As you can see here, as we're watching these storms as they move up toward the north and also to the east right now, very heavy rain. Let's widen out now just a little bit more so we can kind of see these areas that we're watching. And even though the warning just expired, I'm going to hang on air with you for just a little bit longer, just to make sure that we don't see it kind of coming back together with any kind of rotation redeveloping there east of 85 between McDonough and the Locust Grove area. We have East Griffin down here in Spalding County. Atlanta Motor Speedway is more down here closer to the Hampton area. So a lot to watch with the storm now as it's moving up toward the north and east. The main thing for most of us is just be aware of the heavy rain and some thunder and lightning in association with this. Not even seeing a lot of lightning in this cluster, but as this was moving over to the east, we saw that rotation ramp up very quickly there on the south side. And again, the National Weather Service was calling this a confirmed radar confirmed tornado on the ground, where we just witnessed that lofted debris in the air. We are no longer seeing that. We're no longer seeing the rotation with it as well, and they have allowed that warning to expire. So what we're going to do right now, Melissa and I are going to keep an eye on this for you. We're going to take you back to our regularly scheduled program here, but we will be with you. Number one, we'll come back if we see any other rotation developing with that, and if they have to reissue another tornado warning. And we'll definitely be on at 4 o'clock for our newscast, 11 Alive News at 4, coming up here at the top of the hour. So we'll take you back to regular. Melissa, do you feel comfortable with that, or do you think we should hold on?
I just want to point out there's one other area on velocity I'm watching down on the north side of Griffin. It's Spalding. Not really tight, but that's the environment that we're in that it can spin up. So we will be back at 4 o'clock or earlier if we see those tightening up, Chris.
All right, so stay with us here. We'll take you back to our regularly scheduled programming. Just know that Melissa and I are watching this. If any other warnings are issued, we'll break in before 4, but if not, Melissa will be back at the top of the hour at 4 o'clock. And remember, at any time, you can stream 11 Alive Weather Impact 24/7 on 11 Alive. Plus, if you flip there right now, we have radar streaming there on that, so you can keep an eye on it as these storms move on the south side. Stay with us. More to come at the top of the hour, or we'll break in if any other warnings are issued.